Friends, we're going to review our rules before we do our lesson. Rule number 1, follow directions quickly. Rule number 2, raise your hand for permission to speak. Rule number 3, raise your hand for permission to leave your seat. Rule number 4, make smart choices. Rule number 5, keep your dear teachers happy. Good review of our rules. It's time for our application problem. Ready? I'm going to read the problem, and you're going to mirror me. Students ordered pizza for lunch.
Students ordered pizza for lunch.
Students brought their lunch from home.
Students brought their lunch from home.
How many fewer students brought their lunch from home than ordered lunch? How many fewer students brought their lunch from home than ordered lunch?
I know.
I want you to think. We don't know the numbers yet, but we can tell by the problem that there were more students who brought something than from home. I want you to talk about it with your neighbor about what do you think. The question is, students ordered pizzas for lunch. Students brought their lunch from home. So who do you think ordered, which one is going to have more? Teach. Oh, stop. That was so weak. Teach.
Okay.
Join them.
What we wanted to know is, what did they order what more than they brought from home? So we know that they
I want you two to be together and you two to be together so you guys really get more out of this. Here you go. So who ordered more? More pizza or more home lunches?
Pay attention during when we were talking about it.
Students ordered pizza for lunch. Students brought their lunch from home. How many fewer students brought their lunch from home?
How many
Fewer students brought their lunch from home.
I don't get it.
less students?
That's okay. Well, listen, your friend understands what? We don't know the number.
Less.
It's 7 and
Less.
15.
So there's more pizza than there is from people that brought their lunch. We don't know the numbers yet. We can't have it yet.
Class.
Okay.
So the question was, we don't know the numbers. Some students ordered pizza for lunch. Some students brought their home lunch. The clue is, it says how many fewer students brought their lunch from home. That means that more people had pizza, just like you guys on Friday. So we know that more people had pizza. Mir. More people had pizza for lunch.
More people had pizza for lunch.
Stop. They want to know how many fewer students brought their lunch from home. So we want to know, what's the question? We want to know how many students brought lunch from home. I want you to explain that to your neighbor, that we're looking for how many students brought lunch from Teach. How many fewer?
Fewer
Wait.
students was 7.
Teach.
Okay. Fewer students were.
We don't know a number.
The number 7 had
Fewer students brought home lunch.
Fewer students had home lunch.
Class.
Yes.
So we know that our number is going to be smaller of the kids that ordered from lunch. So let's put the numbers in. Are you ready? I keep hearing people say 7 because you might have seen the numbers, but let's make sure.
7. It is 7. We saw it. It's 7. 7. It's 2.
Hands and eyes. Now we have our numbers. 15 students ordered pizza for lunch. 7 students brought their lunch from home. Now that you have the numbers, I want to see if you, in your head, can figure this out with your partner. And then we're going to do it on paper. But
What is it that we're trying to answer again, Mrs. Penney?
we're trying to figure out how many fewer students brought their lunch from home. So when
Wait, I think you need to say that again because I got 2 that didn't hear it.
we want to find out, we know that 15 had pizza, but only 7 had lunch from home. We want to figure out how many fewer students brought their lunch from home. And we've done many problems like this. And usually, Naraya, what type of problem is this? Comparing. We are comparing the two. I want you to think real quick. Close your eyes. What strategy are you going to use? And before you go do your strategy on paper, I want you to talk with your neighbor about what strategy you're going to use. We've already given you a clue that this is what type of problem? Comparing. So you're going to talk about, I'm going to use this strategy to solve the problem. Mir. I'm going to use this strategy to solve my problem. I'm going to use this strategy to solve my problem. Your strategy may be different than someone else's. That's why you're going to take the time to share. Are you ready?
Yes.
Are you ready?
Yes. Okay.
This is the strategy. You're going to use a number bond. What are you going to use? And how are you going to compare them? Lining them up. Keep talking about that because tell her how you're going to use your number bond strategy. What strategy are you going to use? You're going to start with 15, and what are you going to do? Ooh, so you're going to use the tape diagram one. Class.
Yes.
I heard a couple of good strategies, and guess what? I only got to talk to 4 people, and I heard 3 different strategies. We have talked about different ways. Number bonds, comparing, tape diagram. Did you have one, JJ, that we didn't have?
No. JJ kind of proved Mrs. Kumar wrong, but we can talk about it later.
All right, before we go to our seats, I would like you to show really quick with your thumbs. I got it. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I have no idea. How do you feel about a strategy that you just talked about, and how do you feel about going to your journal and using that strategy to solve that 15 students had pizza, 7 had home lunch? How many fewer students brought their lunch? How many of you feel good about trying out the strategy that you talked about? Let's see, quick thumbs. 1, 2, 3. Okay, if you got that thumbs up, I want you to go get started.
Well,
Go get started. Okay, what's your game plan? What strategy do you think you want to use? Which one did you talk about with your friend? The power punch, counting on? Ooh, so how could you count on paper? What number would you start with on your paper? What number would you start with your power punch? Yeah, so on your paper you could do 7, and then you could count on till you get to what number? I want to see it. I'm going to come by and check that. What strategy were you talking about? I want to hear what strategy. Comparing. So when we do comparing, what are we going to do?
Make a 9 compare it so we can see.
So how many are you going to draw on the top?
15.
How many are you going to do on the bottom?
7.
And then what are you going to do?
Right, 9.
Go do it. You're on the right track. Okay, Olivia, what's your strategy?
Number
If you go to your seat and raise your hand for permission to leave your seat, then I want to go see it. Let's go see it. What fact family would make 15? So remember, what number are you going to start with? 7. Okay, so I see that you're on the right track. Would a picture help you? Please go to your seat and raise your hand for permission to leave your seat. Oh, okay. That's interesting. You know what? I like where you're going. So, okay, so I see where you're going to go. So if you had that 7, what other number would you need to make 15?
5. A 10.
Well, 10 and 7 would not make 17. What would that make? Let's start with 7 and count on to 15. So you can figure out what that number is. Let's try that power punch. Do you remember when we did that? So start with 7.
7. 7, 8, 9.
You do it.
10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
What is that number? If you need to, draw a
5.
picture. Are you sure? 7 plus 5?
3. I don't know how to do this.
I will be happy to help you when you raise your hand. I'm going to make a loop.
I'm helping him. Can we help each other?
I would like to see what you each know. And you had a great strategy about using a number bud. So if you had the number 15, what would be your 2 numbers?
I'm subtracting.
All right, can I see your number sentence? What would be your number sentence?
There. 15? That did not feel good.
I'm sorry. Or a statement, what would be your answer? Your statement would be, fewer students brought their lunch. I understand you don't feel good. Why don't you lay your head down for right now and we'll see how you feel. Feel okay. I love your labeling.
I'm done.
Are you sure about that? Let's count. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Count. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that would be 7 plus
8.
You have about 10 seconds. So 8 kids got pizza for lunch, but, 15 kids ordered pizza for lunch. Are you meaning how many fewer kids brought home lunch? Okay. All right. So we're not adding them together. Well, so we have the 15, right? 7 fewer kids got home lunch. So how many kids got home lunch? 8 kids got or 8 kids brought what? Home lunch. I would like 2 friends to bring their journals up. And this is a really, your brains must be bursting because all of you did great work, but I don't have time to have all of you share. But I would like to see Myra's, and I would like to see Naraya's because they did 2 different strategies, and that's what I wanted to show you. When we're done. I would like everyone to join us at the carpet in 3, 2, 1. I know that a lot of you are like, oh, I already know the answer, but I want to see how you figured it out. Please have a seat. Crisscross applesauce. Hands and eyes. Myra, will you please go up there and explain? Wait. Come here. Will you go up there and explain your problem? Olivia, please give your hands and eyes to Myra.
Okay, just let it hang.
Oh, yeah, just let it hang.
Okay, go ahead and explain.
What strategy did you use?
Number bond.
Okay. So can you talk to us about how you did that?
8 plus 7 equals 15.
Okay. So 15, that was the number of people who
8
ate what?
pizza.
Pizza. So I'm just going to label this pizza. And it said that 7 fewer people ate.
Home lunch.
So how many people ate home lunch?
8.
So what could we write right here?
Home.
Home. And we could label it home. And I noticed that you wrote your number sentence and you had your number bond. And also, whoa, that's a really important part is that what did you do up here? Tell us about your picture.
I circle 7 and 8 left.
And 8 left. And then do you guys remember what the strategy is called when we do it like this?
Group
Tape
diagram.
diagram. Thank you, Myra.
Thank you, Myra.
And Naraya, our queen of comparing. Please explain. Go up there and explain it to us.
Yeah.
What did you do first? And I want you talking in a nice, loud teacher voice.
I compared them and
What did you draw first up here? What is this?
compare
But what are these? These are the people who had
pizza.
Okay, keep going.
And then 7 fewer of them had a home lunch. And 8
Okay, so 7 fewer had home lunch, and so 8 friends had home lunch, right? And so talk to us about your number sentence. And I liked how, I don't think you guys saw, she labeled pizza, and then she labeled the home lunch people. And then read your statement, please.
7 fewer brought home lunches.
But up here you told me that it was how many? How many people brought home lunch? Help her out, guys. 8. So down here, this is your correct number sentence, but down here, what do we need to fix there? Was it 7 fewer that brought home lunch? It was 7 fewer, but how many brought home lunch? What's your number? 8. So what could we write right here just so that we can make for sure that we know what we're answering?
8.
8. So can you come do that? And use a purple marker so we can see how you did that. Right there. Thank you, Naraya. Wow.
Thank you, Naraya.
You guys did a great job at using the different strategies that we talked about. I would like to know one last question before we are finished. Was there a strategy that you talked about with a friend or a strategy that you saw here that you didn't use? And could you use that strategy? So here's the new numbers. I want you to try it. Try a new strategy in your head with a friend. Here's your numbers. 11 friends ordered corn dogs. 5 fewer friends had home lunch. How many more how many fewer friends? I think I'm messing this up. How many fewer friends? How many friends had home lunch? There we go. Woo! Say woo.
Woo.
Mrs. Penney, you need coffee.
Mrs.
So the question is, how many friends had home lunch? You have to figure that out. 11 friends ordered corn dogs. 5 fewer friends had home lunch. How many friends had home lunch? Hurry up, grab your partner. Solve. I was trying to do a play on teach. Teach.
Okay.
So solve the problem with your partner.
11 take away 6 equals 5.
So how, are you confused? Okay, 11 friends had corn dogs. 5 fewer friends had home lunch. So 11 people ordered corn dogs. 5 fewer than that ordered or brought their home lunch. So how many friends had home lunch?
6.
But tell her how you got that.
11 plus 6 equals 5.
Plus 6?
Take away 6.
What strategy would you use to figure that out? But what strategy would you use? Would you use, think about the ones we talked about doing on paper. What ones could you do inside your head?
Equals 5. 5
Okay, so comparing would be hard if you were doing it not without paper. So what strategy, what was another one that you could use? Think about our number bonds. I don't know, the train going to the town.
5 plus 6
No.
equals 11.
All right, guys. Thank you. Let's come back.